Hey and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cool, cheap and very efficient alcohol stove. So the first thing I'm going to do is I take 2 empty soda cans, and this one has no more paint on the bottom, but it's not necessary to scrub it off. I just think it looks nicer. And I use a knife to create a carve. And if you then cut it open, the tin can will break exactly at this carve and creates a nice cutting edge. So you have to repeat this for both cans, and the height of the cup that will remain should be about 4 centimeters. So the principle of the stove is basically the same as the chimney effect stove. So it's again the chimney effect, but in an improved matter. So if you don't know what the chimney effect is and how it works, I recommend you to watch my first stove video, although the quality is not the best. It's mostly the sound quality, but I improved a lot on my noise reduction and microphone and everything else, and now it should be acceptable. The next thing is drilling. So you need actually 3 drill bits, but I forgot to show one. And additionally, I forgot to show some holes. They will just appear later, but don't be frightened. They are just 4 to 6 more holes to drill. So the first hole is for the top piece, the lid, and it's a 10 millimeters hole in the center. The whole stove will later actually be filled with kitty litter, which should be easier to access than white tongue, which I used in my last stove. So the pressure stove was not really a final stove project, it was just an idea I tried out. Once everything looks nice and all the sharp pieces are removed from the edge of the hole, we can take the bottom piece. So at the bottom we do have our air intake for the chimney, and to prevent the kitty litter from falling out, I drill 7 holes of 5 mm diameter, and now I use a 3 mm drill and drill 3 holes for the pot stand. So through the 3 outer holes I will put screws, and then I'll fix them with nuts to create 3 legs. You'll see soon how it looks. But before I do this, I'm going to use a pair of pliers to create some kind of skirt. You need this to fit both pieces together. So you make the bottom smaller, and then you can put the lid on top. This needs quite some time, and if it doesn't work with the pliers, you can still use your fingers. So now the skirt is finished, and you can see that the lid can easily be put on top. Make sure that it has a tight connection and that there is not too much air in between, so not too much space. Otherwise a flame could burst out of the space. So now I attach the legs, and the bottom part of the stove is basically finished, as well as the top part, except for those holes which are not shown here because I forgot to include them into the video. So the next part is actually filling it with kitty litter. This kitty litter is just some kind of stone. I don't know which kind of stone, but it's very porous. And now I shake it to get out all the pieces that can fall through the holes. Of course, I don't want to fall anything through later. And you should never ever fill the stove that high with kitty litter. So you should use something like this height. I found it out after a few tests that A very low filling works the best, so approximately 1/6 of the height. Now I'm going to fill it with alcohol, and you may be surprised, but the alcohol does not drain out of the bottom because it's soaked into the kitty litter. And between the kitty litter pieces there is actually free space, and that's where the air can circulate and create a chimney effect. So by using too much kitty litter, you would block this air spaces and the chimney effect would not work. So try to use as less kitty litter as possible, but use as much as you need to soak all of your alcohol. And because it's soaked into the kitty litter, you can't spill anything. And the risk of an explosion is incredibly decreased. Increase would be terrifying. Okay, it's decreased, so don't worry. Because the alcohol can't escape the kitty litter. So here you see that on the top there are holes missing. They will show up soon, and there is no alcohol that drains out the bottom, so the kitty litter works. And here's the burn test. You see 4 more holes, and they create a nice blue flame that shows complete combustion. So there's enough oxygen for the flame to fully oxidize, and it won't turn yellow. That's a good sign because it won't darken your pots. If you put some on there or above there, they won't get one of these dark coatings on their surface. And here you see why it's dark. The flame is actually very hot and lasted for a very long time. So I'm pretty much surprised that this works so good. And by modifying the height of the kitty litter, you can increase or decrease the flame height. So if you use more kitty litter, you will get less flame, and if you use less kitty litter, you will get a higher flame. But if you use too much, you'll get a yellow flame. Thank you for watching, see you soon.